Hello, welcome back to the lovely back room and phone camera. Today, we are going to talk about the Savotta Kantamus 40 liter. So before we get started, a quick disclaimer, they did send me this bag and they asked me to make a video on it. So that's what we're doing right now. And they gave me my own link. I don't know what it does, but it does make me feel weird, but I put it in the description anyway. So let's get started. How we are going to do this is, for now, I left the back completely sterile because I found the best way to show you how that works is to just build it. So that's how we're going to do that. But first, let's get to an overview of the bag itself. So the backpack is separated into two main components. The top floating lid here and the main body here. So when they say 40 liters, they are talking only about the main body. This is all extra up here. So it's an extra 8-ish liter in the top floating removable lid. Starting on the side where stuff is going to be more familiar, we have side compression straps holding in a long item there, or side compressing the side of the backpack, or holding something on the front, which we will do in just a second. But before I pull this out, I just want to show you this bottom pocket here. It's not recommended for like water bottles, canteens, stuff like that. That stuff should probably go on your hip belt. But this is more intended for long items to be secured also with side compression straps, and probably something better if it's going to be something sharp. You have this strap here that connects to the lid that traces its origin all the way back here to the bottom. So shoop, doop, doop, zoop, right there. And the same as on the medium Yakari, a side access zipper, which I should have chosen a different color compression sack to put in there. But this is getting into the main body of the bag here. I point that out because things are about to get really interesting. Starting with all of these plastics being completely removable and modifiable and repairable and Tim Keysable. Like so. All right. On this side, I'm going to show you where things got different, things got interesting. First off, I just want to make you guys a little bit uncomfortable with some uncanny valley. Look what I did there. So, undoing this G hook that I have on here, I am going to undo my loop-de-loop of cord. Get this axe out of there. My elastic cord. This I put on extra on the bag. Everything on this side of the bag is not standard. So this I put on, and the different buckles and G-hooks and stuff. So I just wanted to really make a point of how crazily modifiable this bag is. So I even made this a griffin sling, just for shits and giggles. And here, I have a story to tell. So my wife got home from work and I hadn't had a chance to like really play with this bag yet. She walked in the door. I was looking her dead in the eye and I was like, so you know how on the medium Yakari there's the access side zipper where there's another one? And I felt it in my heart. This is a giant flat pocket here. So as they will say, it's good for like tarps and flat stuff and whatever. I assure you, I have gotten an entire Kahaka 25 liter in there without the back pad, but all other components and backpack in this front flat pocket. So it wasn't the easiest thing to do, but it was possible. There is, you can see, the size of the pocket comes all the way here and all the way up here. So it's the entire face here, and it is just given a little bit of extra room here, but pretty much flat. So unbuckling here, loosening up my Griffin sling deal and G-hook. I am just going to go ahead and take off this floating lid for now. How it comes is with these ladder lock deals there. That's how it comes standard here. Or you can take the ladder lock off, you can put a split bar buckle, and I like that much better. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So the lid here, as you can see, it was a fully floating, adjustable, whoopsie daisy. So fully floating, adjustable deal where you can tighten it back this way, tighten it down that way, squish it down. When it's empty, it actually helps to compress the entire bag very well. But probably the best feature about the lid itself is that as you unbuckle it, a lot of people will have the experience of losing your sleeping mat immediately unbuckling the top lid of your deal. That's what the PALS webbing here is for. It is highly advisable to get some pack straps. That's like number one on my essential. That's really like the only like essential on there. The rest is pretty extra. But pack straps, absolutely total. Like, Happy Patch is joking. Buckles would be awesome. Backpack cover, you know, you don't need it. But if you want to do amazing, cool stuff, get some pack straps and some buckles. I should just stop. Anyways, so imagine opening up your backpack or just unbuckling it. This thing rolls right out. You got to go catch it. Or you have the webbing on the inside where you can attach pack straps, or at least on the FDF mat, you can run these through too. You can do it that way. So the thinking of this lid is not necessarily for flipping it over, attaching pockets to. That's not super recommended. If you're going to attach pockets, I guess, you know, leave it in the down. But if you're going to put anything on top, even if you do decide that flipping it is best, even though your zippers are on the other side, use elastics on top and for soft, lighter things. This thing comes standard with this elastic on top, which I think is actually really, really nice. The zippers in the back, you have two, in case one breaks down. Inside, I have a Corinthia G40 liner. And we'll flip this dude real fast. There's nothing special on the inside, but you can at least see it's still the PU coating, 500D Cordura, all that good business. So you can see this thing goes into nothing. Oh, let me see if I can actually put it in my pocket. Yeah. So that thing can just go in my pocket if I wanted to. It also has all of the mounting options. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, bada boom, bada boom. Anything that you have seen somebody do with an Antennae, I am just going to show you a piece of magic. This is my everyday bag, so excuse me, there's some cat hair on it. And my everyday strap. Current everyday strap. That one switches around. But if you know the cool things that you can do with the Antennae, look what perfectly lines up with all of these buckles. So, yeah, everything. Wrong one. There is this front pocket here behind the Happy Patch, which I'm switching to mandatory. actually. Which I thought the most scientific test for this pocket. You can see how right here it opens about that wide, but it's flared at the bottom. So my ultimate scientithesis test, Snickers bars. So I went to the store this morning. I have not tried this yet. So I got 9, but then I had one from yesterday because I actually just like Snickers. So there's 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was actually planning on being defeated by that point. At least 10 Snickers bars. Not too much more, though. Right there. Oh, my kid's gonna be so happy. Oh yeah, and on the inside of the Snickers pocket there, you have a webbing loop and D-ring there. And 2 zippers, in case one breaks down. Remember, everything on this side of the bag is standard. I hope we're all following the same picture. So, this was my edited side, putting on buckles and stuff. So, here I am going to show, this is the side that you get into the bag with here. There we go. And you're gonna notice, or a lot of people are gonna notice immediately that this isn't quite as tall as the Yakari L, but in all other sense of size, all of that, it is almost dead on Yakari L, except for the roll top that would like fit like way not in frame here. So, in addition to this nice expandable bit here, they gave you 2 different sections of back support and stuff, and it's awesome, in 2 different places. I am going to take that buckle off that I put on that did not come standard. It only comes with the webbing from the bag here, standard. I will actually leave those out, making this a little bit easier to do. This is where you're going to find the aluminum frame, which I have also found is a perfect storage compartment for a backpack rain cover deal, and a signal panel Cordura flat. This thing is just pretty awesome, and it's pink on the other side. That's pretty cool. So that is where you keep the aluminum bar deal. Before somebody asks, I asked. So there is no specific direction, but if you were working on the line, it would be sitting like this. These 2 dots would be facing up. You would see some Sharpie marks, or maybe they might be rubbed off. But you're gonna see the connection down here where the metal comes together. These 2 dots there, putting the back of the bag facing up, putting these 2 dots facing up, facing down, bottom of the bag. That's your orientation, recommended. So, if you were working on the line, that's how you would put it in. These are made in Finland and put in Finland, so. in this separate lower pocket. So Dealy Bob aluminum came out of this guy. And we have this guy in there, which I will fold back up. So before we get too far along, I want to put a split bar buckle right on here because I'm trying to clean up some dangly straps because it's just kind of bugging me. So you have these loops right here at the top of the bag itself, where you can, put G-hooks if you switch out for G-hooks here, or you can take the buckles off of the lid itself and even put it there. So that's a pretty easy thing to do. And it comes standard. You have the equipment to do that. Leave the lid at home if you want to. So here's that carrying handle that I forgot a few times now. And I've made this video a few separate times just to try to get it right. So I left these out to start. This is the lid connection here. So I just wanted to show you it has this retention here. So if you wanted to get the lid even tighter, just pull it out of that retention. You have this as your starting point. But I just wanted to leave those out to begin to show you these don't matter here. So the straps that are on the backpack, you ignore completely here. Unless you're doing a custom system, then that's on you. But if you're going stock, everything that you're doing is right here. So the backpack straps, how they are constructed are awesome. They are super padded, still pretty strong. It's that closed cell foam padding that's gonna probably outlast me. And the sternum strap that it comes with can be moved up and down as you see fit. The starting point of the entire operation, at least for the top, is going to be a metal ring that you find here and the top of the strap here. Shoop the doop, come through that metal ring. It's a heavy gauge, don't worry. And come through the metal tri-glide of the backpack strap. I'm doing it opposite of the way I did it last time. Muscle memory is off. So how I did that is loop in, back out. There's the tri-glide. From here, you have your first adjustment point of going wiggly back and forth, up and down, that kind of deal. Your second adjustment point comes from attaching to the load lifter. So if you are a, short person, tall person, however it's going to work for you. Even though it doesn't have that laddered adjustment system kind of deal here, you can do with these two and the bottom strap, you can work the whole system up and down. Starting with these two webbing loops here, you can choose to go through both of them, one of them, or none of them. Going through none of them is going to bring you up through this load lifter that is right under the carrying handle to be able to bring that guy all the way up. Or coming through these bottom, bringing it in, like so. So this is where you would, probably for shorter kind of deal, or probably for somebody like me, not super tall, 173 centimeter. Bottom of the backpack strap has this loop-de-doop there. Let's put it on my forehead. There you go. Or I have a whiteboard, damn it. Yeah. So there is this loop-de-doop and a flat end. Loop-de-doop on the backpack. Flat end coming out, this metal sewn-on D-ring here. And as they come back to meet, you just pass him through the loop. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And nice and easy. So the metal D-ring, or the metal D-rings, are sewn onto the pack, but even these, just like I said with all plastics, even these can be replaced with whatever you want them to be. I actually have an example ready. So the top of these load lifters here and the bottom of the backpack strap are the same. They have this split bar, so you can do an entire custom system however you want to do. It's the metal that's sewn on. The hip belt has one piece that's sewn, but it's just because you need a good, a good hold on the tension. So let's go ahead and do that hip belt while we are talking about it. The hip belt is really interesting. I don't know exactly what is my favorite part, or I'm just going to call this my favorite backpack. So this is the base of the hip belt here. So you wouldn't even need to have any padding or anything like that to rock a hip belt, or you don't have to have a hip belt at all. But it is built in to mount on, so you don't have to worry about trying to come up with a system. You take this guy, and this guy, and they form a little doop-de-doop. It's all tension held. These, you can mix them up. Don't matter. When you get them, they are going to be tough. Use them as knee pads for a couple days. That's what I found out. So, this is the starting base here. I'm going to point this out before I forget. It is a different width. This is the Yakati M back pad. This is the Yakati L back pad. This one would probably stretch and do it, but it would work. Medium's not going to work for you because you're going to ask. But you want to come through the 50 mil that's lower here. And you just slide right on through that. And that's going to hold. And that's going to hold. It just didn't want to go on. These, like I said, you can mix them up. We'll slide on the exact same way. I am going to flip this guy right here just to make this easier on me. And actually, it might be better for the camera too. So, oh yeah, I'm an idiot. And come through the top. There we go. So that is now tension held on. You can rock it without the side plates or without the back pad with the side. It's fully, so take the other one, pop him on. I was going the wrong way. That was about to be embarrassing. All right, so you have these all locked on. This is where people might get tripped up. It is super hard to get this buckle on until you figure out that you can bend that and kind of push it down. It's gonna want to tension hold on the webbing still there, but yeah, okay. So you see I bent it and I just slide that side pad down. It took me a while to figure that one out. Life was hard. Life was really hard. So now you can just slide this guy on and you are not gonna cosplay as a sailor. Because Jiminy Crickets, dude. Woo. Trying to get those off and on when it is in full tension. And then realizing you were kind of not smart the whole time. Yeah. All right. So that slides on through there. I will take that one off again real fast just to show you a little bit better. So, shoop-de-doop. It is on the very back of it there. So the pointy rounded end is facing towards the backpack here, towards the backpack, and the wing is in the very back end. So I don't have to take it all off. Then you take the Berg buckle. There we go. Sometimes I just gotta muscle memory it, look off to the sky and do it. Shoop-de-doo. So it comes in the middle, the bottom available here, and then back in towards the middle of the pack through the top hole. Just like so. And there you have a hip belt. Shoop-de-doo. The Berg buckle, this is going to be one that's going to come up too. I assure you they have tested every single possibility that there is out there. Berg buckle has been found to be virtually indestructible unless you accidentally slam it in a Humvee door. That would be pretty shitty. Or if you're just being stupid, but you can open it with gloves, you can open it in the cold. It's amazing. And it's not gonna open on you if you have to jump down on the ground. It's not gonna push button open on you. And a Cobra buckle under tension is not a very fun thing to try to get to open. Yeah, and so this, the Berg buckle is the only sewn piece on this entire bag. Plastic piece. Because it just has to be. Let's start the journey to the inside. So here, I already showed you that there is the side zipper here to get into the main pocket with 1, 2. I'm not gonna say the same Mitch joke again. And also accessible through this roll top here. Hydration port being shoop-doop-doop. And on the other side, shoop-doop-doop. So you have hydration port on both sides, just right at the base of the roll top where it meets the main body of the bag. Inside here, I currently have a 500D stuff sack to show you a science experiment, and a medic pack because it was good filler. Yeah, so the science experiment, before we get too far, people are going to ask about water resistance, waterproofness, and all of that stuff. Here is a 500D stuff sack, a 40-liter 500D stuff sack, and it has a Corinthia Tropen sleeping bag in here, just one, but I am going to puff it up as much as possible, putting the backpack down a little bit, hopefully not banging that tripod. And I'm gonna roll this guy up and show you that with the PU coating on the inside, because this, at least the 500D stuff sack, I'm not exactly sure about the 210, but the 500 has the PU coating on the inside. So it's going to be fairly water resistant. As you can see, it's a big balloon right now, but it has a weak point, the stitching. So this is 40 liters of, well, 40-ish liters of air being pushed out through the stitching. Still floating. I'm not touching down on the couch quite yet, but you can see something that has as much stitching as this is by nature not going to be as water resistant, but still fairly water resistant. It is still advised you get a backpack cover. Flipping this dude inside out. You will see maybe some better contrast. So there's the hydration tube port, and here is the top of the water hydration bag pocket here. So hydration tube here, hydration tube port here, both sides of the pack, lining up just above the pocket itself, where you will find one simple webbing loop there, and its mirror on the other side. And in the middle, this butterfly guy, which, there we go, forehead. Doo-doo-doo. So, we have butterfly guy in the middle, and webbing loops on the side. And I finally had to buy a laptop. Talking to you guys on a phone is becoming a medical condition for my thumbs. So I went and bought the cheapest deal that I could possibly find on discount Alza day. It is a 15.6 inch screen, and I have found it fits absolutely perfect in there. I'm not going to do that. I highly advise you use a different system than just keeping it in that pocket, but you're going to ask me. So there you go. That's 15.6, and it's fairly decently perfect. So, flipping back, and here I'm going to think, so instead of building this thing completely all over and being here for another long while I'm trying to do this during nap time, I just want to show you attachments. First, a better look at how the hatka goes on. So the hatka is going to be a perfect kind of turtle shell fit to it. It's just going to melt straight onto the front of the pack. It's going to be just absolutely perfect. It was made for it. The ascare, the way I like to do it, is going to stick out a little bit further, but obviously if you put the PALS mount on the front, then you could compress it down better. And the medic pack, it fits perfectly. So special use case, if you need to do this, it will do wonderfully perfect. For side pockets, the 8 liters are going to fit the side profile of the backpack absolutely perfectly. But if you do this, you have to consider if anything is in the bottom of the 8-liter side pocket, it's going to make contact with the ground when you put the backpack down. So remember that. The 6-liter gives you a little bit more room there at the bottom. Probably, this is probably what I'm going to do, like just to play it safe. But the width of the pocket is the same as the 8-liter. The 4-liter, you can play with going back and forth with like left and right by one row of pals, and up and down by like a tiny bit. So, you know, you have a little bit more wiggle room there. And if you want to get interesting, I actually found that these two zipped GP pouches here, the 3x3 on top and the 3x4 on bottom, also fits pretty perfectly. The rain cover, if you are not going to run any attachments or sleeping pad, anything like that, then the medium rain cover is perfect. It is just absolutely perfect, fits like a glove, and is going to be your best friend. But if you are going to put anything on the outside, you are going to want to go large. It's a little bit floppy without any pockets, but you can like collect it up and, you know, bunch it up in a spot. But once you start getting stuff on, it is essential that you have the large. And you can get this all the way up to 80 liters and still fit perfectly under the large. So, questions. As people were wondering, how small and how big does this thing get? Not too much bigger than what you see in the product photos, but it does get a little bit bigger. But as for smaller, it's really going to come down to comfort and what you got in there, what custom straps you got on. As for smaller, with all of the compression that you have going on here, this entire backpack is essentially a mix of all of the best components to make the most amazing stuff sack possible that you can take from a just straight up deployment sack, like something that, you know, without the backpack straps, without the hip belt, without any extras on it, tuck in everything, just toss that in a shipping container, under an aircraft, back of a vehicle, something like that. You get into theater, throw your backpack straps on, take from whatever thing, you know, it was stored in, get to your secondary location where you can kind of get yourself set a little bit better. At that point, throw on your hip belt and you have a Legman bag. Keep the hip belt off, you have a mech bag. And keep everything off, you have essentially the greatest thing that could ever happen to a stuff sack. It's pretty gosh darn fantastic. Helmet under the lid. I was asked this, and I reached out to Mighty Finland here, because I personally don't have a helmet on hand. So they helped me with these helmet photos here, and I am eternally grateful. As for that, I think I'm going to let it go. I think a baby just woke up from a nap, so I got to go run out there real fast. And I'm going to see you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.